Alright folks, welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Don Father and I just want to take this opportunity to make a quick video and tell you a little bit about what I'm doing on the channel right now. I put a few questions out on the community section about, well, to gauge the interest of merchandise to raise money, like a fundraiser to raise money for veterans struggling with the aftermath of war, basically left with like PTSD, combat stress, etc. And I want to, I'm actually thinking about a couple of designs here. I've launched one yesterday, got it up pretty quickly actually, and I'm not much of a designer, I've got to tell you the truth, but I've designed one. It looks alright. I'd imagine most people will think it's okay too, and if you're happy enough with the design, probably won't be too bothered about buying something. So quickly on that note, if anybody's quite good at designing anything that would be like printable onto sweatshirts, t-shirts, give me a shout in the comments section below. Maybe email me and we'll talk about different designs and how we can load them. And in return, if there is a design that we could go well with a little bit of a saying, maybe keep the same saying, because I think it's quite good, it's quite effective, but just with a different image possibly, then we'll, as I say, we'll talk about that in emails if somebody is sort of design savvy, a wee bit better than what I am. But anyway, the reason for doing it is, of course, I'm a veteran myself. It's a topic close to my heart. You've seen me reacting to several videos now where we talk about the aftermath of war, what veterans, even serving soldiers, have to endure. We'll talk about the mental side of it quickly. Like, these guys have came back and they're still living, as the sort of merchandise suggests. They've left the war, but the war hasn't left them mentally. They're at war with their own heads, and they're experiencing all different kinds of things like flashbacks, all the different emotions that come with, like, say, depression, stress, anxiety, etc. Like loneliness, fear, not thinking well of yourself, obviously, suicidal thoughts, etc. Also the loss of camaraderie as well. When you've left the forces, you've not really got that camaraderie anymore, so you can feel really alone, and it can be very difficult to adapt to the civilian world. And then sometimes, in a lot of cases as well, it's been when veterans are been out the forces for several years, and then something triggers and it hits them, and all this stuff comes flooding to them. It's not something, as a veteran, I would say I've experienced PTSD, and personally I haven't, but I'm really keen, I should say, to help the charities in any way I possibly can who are aware of how to deal with PTSD, who do deal with veterans with PTSD or combat stress related illnesses. Better placed than I am to deal with it, but I'm very keen to raise money by any way possible for some great causes. There is several that's been passed to me. I'll be looking at them and I'll be deciding down the line which best suits what I want to donate to, and the work they do. So I'll do a little bit of homework on certain charities, see what they actually do, services they provide to veterans. Some of them even provide services to the family supporting a veteran with these things that I've spoke about. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm releasing merchandise. Proceeds are going to charities. I will keep people updated with how much is raised over time. I urge you to check it out if you can afford to do so. There's all different kinds of things in there. There's going to be more designs coming, potentially more items as well launched. Look, as I say, the design might not be perfect or to people's taste, but I'm sure you can appreciate the cause, and if you can afford it, please buy some of the stuff. As I say, the profits from it are being donated to these causes that are quite dear to me. I don't like to hear stories or see images or or also in the comments I'm hearing about people's personal family experiences of living with a soldier, a veteran, who suffers from these certain conditions that I've actually mentioned here, and also individuals who have came forward on the channel. Actually quite overwhelming reading people's stories. Actually, Marines, former Marines there who have served their country in places of conflict and have came back and are struggling, and they're openly saying they're struggling. They've received help, or they feel like they need help. They've spoke out, and it's fantastic to be able to even just message people back. Then I've actually spoke to people whose family members are suffering, and I'm more than happy to send my words of support, and I'm sure channel members etc out there who are watching this channel and like-minded like me, want to help their veterans, want to help serving personnel right now who are struggling any way we can. Like, as I said, I am not a person who's best placed to talk about these conditions. Talking does help, right enough. It might, even me just talking and lending a friendly ear might be a help to certain people, but the people who may need extra medical help, that's what this is all about, really. More to the point, to raise money for these charities that are on the front line, providing a service, and also trained in and experienced in these conditions. That is what I'm getting at. Secondary then to this is, I've been made aware quite a lot recently. Now this is going back to the Vietnam War, and this is actually Anzac servants and veterans from the Anzac community as well, who have been subjected to Agent Orange. Now this chemical, yes, maybe it was put out there with the best intentions, but the stuff that I have read from family members or people suffering from the side effects and the aftermath of this terrible chemical, this Agent Orange, is nothing short of horrendous. It's like something out of an absolute nightmare. It's breaking people's hearts on a daily basis, even to this day, and a lot of these people who are commenting are actually saying they do not feel that they are getting the support for a family member or for their own selves personally. They haven't received the support they feel that they should have, or somebody in their family should have, and that is a failure. That is a failure by the individual governments in question here, who have sent these guys out, sometimes conscripted. Their numbers came up and they've had to go, and they've served their country and fighting a brutal war, and came back many years down the line and realised, look, they're sick, they've got certain lung diseases or physical diseases, neurological ones, you name it. This chemical was responsible for a lot of sickness and a lot of illness, and there's still people not being provided the correct care that they deserve. I want to share this because some of the stories that I've been reading are emotional to read, and it's also shameful at the same time that people are being forgotten about and left to suffer and pick up the pieces of a conflict they were sent to. Not necessarily even volunteered to go to, they were sent to, and just being forgotten about, and it's truly shameful, and it needs to change. I don't know enough about it to start doing fundraisers. I would have to possibly speak to people and get more information on it, because my knowledge is not fantastic, I've got to tell you the truth. But any awareness I can spread on the difficulties that vets from the Vietnam War, Anzacs, US troops, everybody that served in the Vietnam conflict, in relation not just to the PTSD side of things, of course that's what I'm touching on a lot of here anyway with the merchandise, but the Agent Orange, the use of that chemical, wow. So any information provided over that would be fantastic. I'm not too sure in terms of doing a fundraiser with merchandise if I'm going to do that, but I'd imagine quite a lot of these people, there is avenues as well that you can go down. It's far better than mine, so just sharing the stories that I've heard here, just little bits of snippets of stories that have really been quite emotional to read over this last few days actually. People's stories about it, it's important that we share them, and more needs to be done. Governments need to be held accountable for their decisions to do certain things. What you've got to remember is this agent did not need to be used. This war, for whatever reason, happened. The soldiers, some people were sent, conscripted if you like, and this is how they've been left afterwards, and alone, feeling like they've no way of getting the help. Families feeling alone, no help provided by the government, and it's not good enough. So that I felt that I had to add this bit in on top of my merchandise thing, which is initially at this stage raising money for veterans suffering from PTSD and combat stress related issues. I do not want to hear of veterans. 22 veterans a day is a number. Obviously I've seen quite a lot of different projects, 22 to 0, 22 to 0, 22 is too many, 1 is too many. Hearing about a veteran suffering in silence and taking their own lives, 22 a day is just shocking. There is help out there, but at this stage, is it still enough? No, it's not. Not when you've still got figures like that. It's not enough. It won't be enough until that number's 0, and there is a place for people who have who are leaving, who have left, and people who are serving to go and seek and get the correct help they deserve. They served their country. They fought in the conflicts. They fought for us, for our freedoms. Now it's time all of us fight for them and give them a quality of life after their service that they deserve. And that is all I'm going to say right now. Thanks very much for your time. I hope you'll check out the merchandise and buy it. I know that it's costing a little bit. I can't really control the prices that much. It comes through Teesprings. It's a company that supplies YouTube channels directly through YouTube. They have a set price. I want the profit margins not to be so dear where it prices people out of buying, but enough for it to be a decent enough donation to the charities after people bought the merch. So please check it out, and if you can afford to do so, please purchase it. The proceeds are going to charities that work on the front line there and help these veterans. Thanks very much everyone, and I'll talk to you all soon. Good luck and goodbye.